All right. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Yeah, I took a little hiatus. I think because I'm getting ready for retirement, so I had to get a lot of my business affairs in order. But I'm back now, and I got something for you all today. Listen, this is what I got to do. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Kelvin, the host of KDDcode, the Matrix Mind of a Man. Listen, I'm just trying to grow the platform, but whether I grow it or not, it don't matter. Y'all gonna get that smoke. Now, today might be a little hard for y'all to deal with, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was on a panel recently, and I brought up a topic that most people couldn't explain, and that's the reason why they couldn't explain because truly it don't exist. I'm going to cover the difference between a real bee, a bad bee, and a boss bee. Let me tell y'all something. Ladies, cut it out. Y'all can kill that noise. Because each and every one of them, when I did the research, I could not find one example of it being positive. And let me tell you why it's not positive. Because when you add the word be onto any word, it then turns the definition of that word and make it hypermasculine. Let's start at the bottom. Let's start at the bottom. Okay. Let me see. The order is a real bee, a bad bee, and then a boss bee. Okay. Let's start at real bee. Let's break that down to the most simplistic form that we can possibly come up with. Well, let's do it this way. A real bee. A real bee is someone that's very argumentative, someone that is very hostile, someone that's very combative, someone that doesn't mind cursing out a man and then don't expect to be held accountable for the words that they say. That's what a real bee is. Now, see, this is the thing. The thing is that whenever you display these characteristics, you do understand that it impacts the relationship that you're in. And not only that, I'm telling you that it also impacts the amount of regret that you have later on in life. Now, whether or not you want to say, well, I don't regret anything, yeah, you're lying. Whether you say, I don't regret being who I am because it made me a better person, you're lying. Because the fact of the matter is, being a better person has nothing to do with your expression. It really doesn't. It has to do with your character and how you act. So, you see, when you all are out and about and your girlfriends are hyping you up, don't you understand that they're only exploiting you for the value of themselves? And let me tell you why that is. See, because if I can give you a title of being a real B, and then we're in a crowd and it's around a lot of men per se, or around a lot of business people per se, or around family per se, what that does is that devalues you and your character, and then it hyper values mine, so that I'm nothing like her. I don't act that way. Yeah, she don't take no mess. Yeah, she about that life. Listen, those things you are not supposed to be about. You are a lady. Act accordingly to what God created you to be. Interesting. Let's move on. Let's move on to a bad bee. Now, a bad bee means simply same characteristic, but add one thing onto it. They don't have a problem with getting violent. Oh, well, now if you're going to tell me in any form, in any society, in any facet, that a woman being violent is not hypermasculine, you are sadly mistaken. Because it was never meant to or never created in regards to a woman being able to protect herself. That was not her position. Although, I do understand that nowadays there has been such a high demand because of the lack thereof of men in women's lives that women do have to resort to protecting themselves. You don't understand. I'm not talking about the physical part. I'm talking about the mental part that's attached to being physical. Because then it's almost mutual combat. And that is a masculine, and that is for men and men alone. And that's just the God truth. Now, I don't believe in it. I don't watch women MMA and stuff like that. But that's just because I don't. Now, every person or every woman that's ever come in contact with me and in my life, I have truly showed them and trained them on how to protect themselves. And that should be not just against a man, but just against a woman just as well, or anybody that chooses to cause harm to her. So you think that that is a trait that identifies or propel or perpetuate the fact that you will elevate your relationship if you choose to do that? No, it don't. I'm sorry. No, it don't. Now, this is the thing. I'm telling you that verbal and physical abuse is 100% wrong. I mean, it should never be displayed. If indeed, in any aspect, in any relationship, in any gender, if the other person is being violent or causing any kind of hands putting on, the best bet is to leave. Period. There is no you forgive me. There is no I won't do it again, because that is a lie just as well. And the truth be told is simply this. Let me tell you how society has pretty much capitalized on the ignorance of certain people. See, at one time, it was just a mere fact of this man or this woman is abusive. Now they changed it and they put the word toxic on it. No, no, no. You're not going to get me to sign on to it or to believe it, because you see, toxicity, honestly and truly, is a two-part component, which simply means women in our days, I'm sorry, my days, I'm a little older, they wouldn't say that we are in a toxic relationship. They would say we were in an abusive relationship, which makes the thing toxic, or has a just say toxic relationship. It's simply because both parties have a part to play in it. So you're telling me it is okay for two adults or not adults to be in a relationship and both of them are being abusive to the other person, and that makes it okay? No, it doesn't make it okay. It is still wrong. It is still wrong, and it devalues the fact of actually being successful in any relationship that you do have. But see, that's where a bad beat come in play. Because her girlfriends, or whatever the case may be, would say, girl, that's right, do this, do that, and guess what? The fact of the matter is that it is dead wrong. And the fact of the matter is that you will come to a point where you regret your actions. And I don't even care if you're a selfish person. Because, see, a selfish person is selfish solely to stay isolated within themselves. But nevertheless, the regret is still there. Oh, I'm going to go a little further with this. Trust me, I'm just giving y'all the intro. Let's go to a boss bee. Now, see, this is something that society has pretty much not capitalized, but society has pretty much made money off of. And let me tell you why. There is no such thing as a boss bee at all. Now, that person has all the other characteristics that I just explained when it comes to a real and when it comes to a bad. And now she's a boss because she believes that it's an elevation of status. It is an elevation of a process. And she's dead wrong. It is not. And I'm telling you that even though you consider yourself, because you're getting paper or you're getting money, that you are now a boss bee, you're lost. You're lost and you need guidance. And that's just the truth. So never let it be said that because someone calls you a boss bee, all they doing is actually identifying that you're a greater status than they are, but your characteristics are flawed. That's what that means. See, let me give y'all a tidbit, ladies. All of the things that I'm talking to you about is hypermasculine. I'm not telling you that you can't do anything and everything that you ever wanted to do. You just need to do it in your feminine status. That's all. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of people in general, when I had this conversation on the panel, they were saying, well, that's because men are not around. Stop. that does not identify or dictate whether you're hypermasculine or whether you're feminine. It doesn't. And I'm going to tell you why, because I was raised by a single mother. And under no circumstances have I ever seen my mother act in a masculine state. She did what she did. She said what she said, and she said it as a woman, and guess what? It had just as much power. So you all are trying to tell me, well, man's not around. I got to put my big drawers on. I got to do this. No. See, the difference between a man and a woman is simply this. A man gets up in the morning and put his pants on. A woman gets up in the morning and squeezes in hers. Y'all just don't get it. But I'm going to give y'all the smoke every time I get a chance. It is not a badge of honor to be a bad, a real, or a boss. Actually, it don't. Because you see, you can be all those things, but not attach that word be to it. When you attach that word be to it, what that does is that masculine the actual first word that comes before that. Y'all don't understand that. And but guess what? It also dictates how it is you are in your relationship. Because you see, characteristics are not easily dropped off. Once you become something, you are that something. And it takes an act of reprogramming in order to eliminate that thing. So you want to be a boss B, which means you just simply getting paper. So who are you bossing? Oh. That means that you're bossing everybody around you. See what the difference is? Don't put the word be on it and just say you're a boss. If you are a boss, ladies, then who are you bossing? Your employees. I'm a boss B. Who are you bossing? Everyone in your circle, including your man. Where they do that at? Do you understand? Well, wait a minute. I'm a bad B. Okay. So who are you bad to? Anybody who confronts me, anybody that get in my way, I just simply run over them. That includes my man. I'm a real B. Now, what does that mean? That means that anybody who challenged me, I got something to say. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not going to be humble. Because I'm real about this. I'm real in this life. Oh, boy. How delusional are you all? It is not a good thing. And don't allow society to take words and manipulate them, in which our culture pick up and begin to use them as a badge of honor. Because guess what? They're looking at us and they're actually calling us whatever it is that they want to call us on a negative aspect. And we in our community are saying, no, it's a good thing. It's not. It's not. I was truly disturbed by the conversation that I had on this panel. Because their main excuse was the reason why they are what they are is because there is a lack thereof of men that are standing in their place. That's not true. That is a lie. That is something that's perpetuated by society. And I'm telling you this because I lived it. Not because I'm just out here talking to talk. Like I said, I don't have any degrees. I'm speaking to you from life and from wisdom that's been bestowed upon me from a child to the age that I am now. And I'm telling you that my mother raised me by herself without a man there, and she never displayed any kind of masculine traits. She did it in the power of being a woman, of being feminine, and it still had just as much power, if not even more power, than a man barking at me. Okay. Now let's break this down even further. Every title that I've told you about thus far, it has been exploited by social media, by TV, by relationships, and by friendships. Exploited. Let me tell you why. When you turn on your TV and you see baddies this, real bees this, boss bees this, don't you understand that they're getting paid for that? They're getting paid for that because they want to perpetuate a cycle that they will continue to get paid for it, and that people don't stand up and say, I'm not watching this trash. Because this is really entertaining, and it should be only for entertainment purposes only. But no, we don't take that as being entertainment. We take that as being a lifestyle. And it's not. And regret is going to come. I promise you, as long as you live here on this earth, it's coming back to you. A real B. If you're in a relationship and you choose to go back and forth in an argument and not converse with each other or not having a conversation with each other, then I'm telling you that that status or that title that you're giving yourself is impacting your relationship. If you choose to be a bad B, and then in a relationship, you're going to want to get the upper hand. You're going to say things like, you P, mother, MF, or whatever, you a BI, or you whatever. So listen, let me tell you something. And let me tell you how I know that it's hyper masculine. If the first thing that you can say to a man when you get in an argument is that you're a B, that lets you know that he is acting out of character of his masculinity but being feminine. So you will use that against him to get a rise out of him. That's how you know you're negative. That's how you know that statement is negative. But you all choose to use it because you all think and don't want to be held accountable for the words that you say. That's toxicity. And I'm telling you that a real man is not going for that. A high value man is not going for that. Period. And then let's deal with the boss B. Now see, the boss B is actually someone that stands on her ability to earn money or her paper or her bag or what y'all call it. It's not really a bag. But nevertheless, that means that she thinks she automatically gets the upper hand because of what she earns or in what position she may be. I'm telling you that I'm happy and I get excited to see a woman that's a boss. That's it. I know you ain't waiting for the rest of it. There is no rest of it. It's just a woman that is a boss. That's it. Because you see, a real woman stands on that alone. And because she's in that position, most men would respect her being in that position, but also respect the ability of when she knows to stand up and stand down. Because it doesn't matter how much of a boss she is at work. When she comes home, she's a wife, or she's a fiance, or she's a girlfriend. And she understands those positions, and she plays them accordingly in her femininity. They got us. They got us. They put this out there, and we bid it. and we ran with it. And every rap song, or just about every rap song, displays every attribute of the things I just told you, which makes it masculine, hyper masculine, which makes it a fact of actually deteriorating our culture and deteriorating marriage and deteriorating relationships. But guess what? We don't care because it's a benefit to it financially in the upfront. I don't understand. I just don't. Out of all the wisdom that I have, I don't understand. Why? Why? You don't need any of those attributes to be successful. You don't need any of those attributes to be a mom. You don't need any of those attributes to be a friend. You don't need any of those attributes to be a woman. But yet, you all want to possess them. For what? Oh, because of perception. This is the thing. When I was growing up, my grandmother would always say to me, don't live like the Joneses because you're not there yet. Now, once you get there, then at that particular time, you can make a decision to live the way that you want. How can you be a boss bee and not be a boss? How can you be a real bee but not real at all? How can you be a bad bee but ain't nothing in your life that you display anything that you've done that's elevated you in any sense or any form of being bad? You women are delusional as hell. And y'all are allowing people to exploit you. It's entertainment. And that's what it's used for. It's not used to accept it and run with it and live a lifestyle according to it. It's just entertainment. And you are killing your relationships. And any real man is not going to accept any of those three. Any. Because you're out of pocket and out of position. That's just what it is. So y'all keep doing what y'all doing. And y'all keep going through the cycle of always having a different man, which means always having a different... Oh, wow. I'll leave that alone, but y'all know what I mean. And then you ask yourself, how is it and why is it that men are actually truly hanging on to that low-hanging fruit of a woman's number? Because you see, the truth is this. Either you didn't care, or either you were a real bee, a bad bee, or a boss bee, and whoever you were with, or the situation or the relationship that you're in, it was not successful. It was not something that was a good place to be in. So whether you left or he left, it just wasn't what it was. Remember, men don't get married for nothing but character. Doesn't matter how good you look. Doesn't matter how good your body look. It only matters about your character. I just dropped that nugget on y'all. Do better because you know better. I just gave it to you in a nutshell. Stop being exploited, ladies. Stop letting social media and stop letting television dictate how you act so that you think that you're being accepted and actually you're being downgraded. That's what you're being. Because everybody is watching you and seeing you the way that you act, and they know that you're deficient, but you think that you're not. And that's why you're not getting ahead. Cut it out. Be entertained, and that's it. Life goes on. It does. Live a life according to the way life is supposed to live, and not the way that you're shown on TV, or not the way that Hollywood is showing you, or not the way that these rap songs are doing. None of that trash. Entertainment only. Because I've never dated a real B, a bad B, or a boss B. But guess what? I've been married a long time. A very long time. And I tell you what, I tell you this much to be true. We want for nothing in this circle. Absolutely nothing. Whatever I want, I go get. Period. Whatever she want, she go get. Period. So, tomato, tomato. Listen, I believe that I explained enough. I believe that I've given y'all nuggets to understand, things to think about. Listen, I want to grow this platform, but it doesn't matter to me if it grows or not. If one person gets this, and I mean just one, if one person gets this, it's more than enough for me. We got to do better. We do. Men, you have to get in your place. You do. And do not give these women a badge of honor when they're in the position of hypermasculinity. Because they're wrong. They're wrong, and you're dead wrong for actually doing anything to think or anything to perpetuate the fact that that is a greater part of them that they need to have, because it is not. There's positions for both genders. Stand in it, 10 toes down. Ladies, raise your standards. And I'm not talking about your standards for more money. Oh, they need to have this, and they need that. Nah, none of that. None of that. I'm talking about the standards of your character. Raise it as it once was. How could women back then have so much less but be so much more? Wait a minute. Had so much more less but gained so much more than now. And you all have more. Tell you what it was. They stood in their position as a queen, not trying to be a king. Because see, what you don't understand is that in any kingdom, even a queen speaks as a king. It's only a difference of title. But the authority is still the same. So, thank y'all for listening. I enjoy talking to y'all. I really do. I enjoy just talking in general. So, what I want you to do is this. No, it's on this side. Yes. On this side, what I would like for you to do is hit the subscribe button. I really would. And on the opposite side, there it is, right there. And on the opposite side, I want you to actually hit the bell. So whenever Kelvin is on this talking trash, you get to be notified. I thank y'all for listening. I do. And I appreciate just one like. It doesn't have to be 1,000 or 1,000,000. One lets me know that one person heard me, and that is more than enough to me. I thank God for giving me the ability to speak, and the ability to speak with such grace to a point that even the smallest of children can understand the words that I say, because that's what the word says. So, do understand this. I am Kelvin, the host of KDDcode, the Matrix Mind of a Man. And guess what? I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Y'all take care. Be blessed.